Hi guys, and welcome to the Beyond the Scoreline podcast. It is three of us. It's me, Harry Ellard, Adonis, and Harry M.
Hello.
And
hello, mate.
This is a university podcast from the University of Gloucestershire, Cheltenham, and it is going to be a mostly football talked podcast. We're all big football fans here. I'll let the boys introduce themselves separately, but I am a massive Leicester fan. I also follow darts, F1 and boxing, but I'm mostly into the football, and that's what our podcast is going to be mostly about. So I'll let the other boys introduce themselves now.
All right, well, I'm Adonis. I'm an Arsenal fan, primarily, but I also support AEK Athens, which is a Greek team. I am Greek, so that's a nice little defining factor in the podcast, I guess. We could always talk about the Greek Super League if that's something you're not interested in. But yeah, I'll let Harry introduce himself.
Yeah, so I'm Harry M. Harry Mathieson. I'm a Colchester United fan, the only one out of the lot that's not a Prem fan, but I can still talk my way through it. I'm a massive football fan, F1 fan. Yeah, I'm just here for laughs and
fantastic. Well, there we go.
So we've introduced the three of us. So there will be three of us. We may have special guests on at certain times as well. But it will be always us three. So to start off, I think we're gonna begin with looking back at England the last couple of match weeks.
Should we let the Greek talk first on his highlight?
Yeah, we'll start off with the Greek man.
Oh my!
After
fantastic.
England took on Greece at Wembley on Thursday night, and yeah, it wasn't a great performance from England, I must say. But Adonis, being a Greek man yourself, you must be
ecstatic,
over the moon with it.
Absolutely, mate. Such an impressive result, and like I said, it's one of those where you think, can we actually cause an upset here? Because we've been playing some good stuff. We nearly beat Germany. That was 2-1, unfortunately, in the end. But we've been playing some good stuff, and it's the best I've seen Greece play for a long time. But beating England for the first time in our history, especially at Wembley, unbelievable. Such an incredible result, especially for, like we said, the circumstance of the game. George Baldock, first of all, died the day before the England-Greece game.
Yeah.
And you got to think, for the Greek lads, having to hear that news the day before, and then all of a sudden you need to switch into game mode, play a game against one of the best countries in the world, finished runners-up in the Euros against a very, very powerful Spain's team.
Yeah.
And you go and you put that performance in. I think it's incredibly impressive.
Well, we were watching it, weren't we? We were like at half time, it was still 0-0, and it was mostly England in that first half, but Greece were in the game still. Like, you can't take anything away from them.
that Pickford mistake in the first half is just diabolical. Yeah. The way how you run out of your own net, do that, lose possession, but the goal line clearance off that is incredible.
Yeah, we got to speak about that Colwill.
Oh, yeah, Colwill, that was unbelievable. He got me there, to be fair. I thought we scored.
It was brilliant, wasn't it, off the line in that first half. I mean, it came out of nowhere, really, because England were all over Greece at this time.
I mean, that was like 4th minute in, wasn't it?
It was a couple of minutes in.
Yeah.
It should have been at least 2-3-0 by then. You had a really good chance. Palmer, I remember, had a really good chance. I think Bellingham put one over the bar, but
well, England had their chances, didn't they?
100%.
And obviously didn't take them on the night. Greece took the chances, and they got the reward in the end. I'm just looking now, 49th minute. So whatever the coach said at half time in the Greek dressing room, it clearly worked.
Well, I saw a clip of our captain Bakasetas, and he was saying, "You fight for this team, you fight for the badge, you fight for this manager, and you fight for George." And I think George Baldock was massive part as to the Greek mentality of why they go out there to win that game. Say the circumstances were different and we didn't get the tragic passing of George Baldock. Do we go in the same mentality? I think so. Do we get the result? Who knows?
I think it might have been a draw.
But yeah, maybe it would have probably been 1-1.
You have to look at, from an England standpoint at least, it was just shocking.
It really was.
That now raises the question, is it the manager or the players at this point?
Well,
because it happened under Southgate.
Yeah.
And now it's happened under Lee Carsley.
Well, Lee Carsley said in the post-match interview that he doesn't want the job.
Yeah, and that's
which
that's
is
big talking
very
point,
promising, isn't it?
Yeah.
A man who's meant to be leading you is saying, "I don't want this job full time."
But he's an interim at the end of the day.
And what I thought he has brought, one good thing towards this England side is he's bringing the youth in.
Exactly.
We've seen two different games. Obviously, we'll come on to the Ireland game in a minute, but sorry, not Ireland, Finland game. But we can see 2 different teams being lined up for these 2 matches. So I think there are positives that we can take from bringing Carsley in. But as we saw, Greece, well, they had a goal to make it 2-1, and obviously it was disallowed, and then they got another one late on anyway, so it didn't really matter. But
they had a few of them that were disallowed.
We had a couple, yeah.
It was that one at the end, wasn't it, where it actually came through before VAR then cancelled it out. But
yeah, I just want to ask the question. Both of you English.
Yeah.
Who succeeds? Who is the manager? Who do you think is your English manager? I'll go to Harry first. Harry Ellard. Who do you want?
I think it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because the England job it's a massive step up from even Premier League. You've got to know what you're doing, and obviously we've got the World Cup now coming around the corner, which is it's got to be England's time now. We've got so close, and obviously the Lionesses have already done it for the Euros. They've already shown their quality. I mean, yeah, it's got to come at some point. The quality that we have, there's not many more excuses we can pull out the book anymore. So I'd like to see Eddie Howe as the England manager.
All right, interesting.
But the thing is that he's done well at Newcastle, and he's done well at club level. Obviously Bournemouth, he had a long time there and he succeeded, and he's got this job at Newcastle now, and he's backed by the board, and I can see him being the manager, but it's a hard one, isn't it? You don't know, but I would go with Eddie Howe.
See, I'm under the impression he doesn't want the job either, because he's already said he's committed to Newcastle.
Yeah.
The obvious choice at the moment is unfortunately Graham Potter. I don't really want to see him as manager, but I will happily take Eddie Howe. But there is a better option in Guardiola.
Yeah, but
he runs out of contract this season. That's what you got to remember.
Guardiola, I don't really see him being an England manager. I like how he brought up Potter, because I feel like he did so well at Brighton, and then obviously Chelsea it wasn't.
But is that
it didn't work out.
Is that him or is that the owner again?
Yeah, you could have said you can back it up at Chelsea, because obviously it didn't work out for Lampard either. It didn't really work out for Poch. So maybe that was just Chelsea, but who knows? But
see, I think with Potter in Chelsea, it was wrong man, wrong time.
Yep.
I think you give him the job end of that season, and you get someone to steady the ship for the last, like say Lampard for example, steadies the ship for that bit of the season. Potter comes in, probably does a good job, because we've seen him at Brighton. He was unreal at Brighton. He was good at Swansea, but. Moving off subject, I think, with Potter, big Graham. We've seen rumours that Thomas Tuchel has been given the job or offered the job.
I have.
Is he someone you would consider, or is he someone you think is lucky for the jobs he gets? For example, Bayern or Chelsea.
Oh, I'm a Tuchel fan. I'm not going to stray away from that. But when you look at the England job and the managers available, you have to look at, all right, if we're going to go foreign, let's go for the biggest one we can. Let's go Pep Guardiola.
Mm-hmm. But do you not think that City are going to want to keep that man? I mean, there were
but there's 115 allegations against City. So
that is, true. And
with a contract ending at the end of the season, does Pep want to risk it?
See,
you can see him risking it.
There were reports coming out from Fabrizio that just came out just before we started this. And he says that Manchester City are still working to keep Pep Guardiola at the club after Hugo Viana has been appointed as the new sporting director. Talks are ongoing, and it's up to Pep. So if he is either offered the England job or he's offered to stay at City, what does he take?
Well, you stay at City for the money.
That's the point. I think long term, Pep would be great for England.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
but I think the FA it's one of those establishments that goes for people they know will just bow down to them and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Southgate was a yes man. Carsley's going to be a yes man. So
yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Because obviously we've got a couple of years, a year and a half or so, until this World Cup, and obviously we need someone in for the World Cup who has the quality to get us as far as we can in the tournament and hopefully win it. But
we can't make the mistake of just appointing someone.
No, out of desperation.
No,
I completely agree with that. Anyway, moving on to the Finland game. Obviously, we can take a lot more positives out of that. So England won 3-1 against Finland. Jack Grealish, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Declan Rice, the 3 scorers.
That was, again, a boring first half.
Yeah, it was another lacklustre performance from England, wasn't it? And it's a hard one to take, because obviously we got the 3 points and that's all that mattered. Like everyone was saying leading up to the game, it's one of those games where you don't matter how we play or how England play. The 3 points is what we need after that loss to Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, personally, I think we played all right in the second half. Obviously, Trent gave us some magic and scored that amazing free kick, but we didn't keep a clean sheet. That's probably some of the negatives we'd say. Obviously, we weren't very attacking. We played more of a different style of football, I saw, and we also lined up differently with an out-and-out striker.
And we also had Dean Henderson in goal.
We did.
We didn't have Pickford.
And this is the thing I like about Carsley. He's changing the side, and he's given the younger players and obviously the less used players a lot more time on the pitches, which is what they need, isn't it, to develop? So
that game does raise an interesting question, though. Do you keep Pickford as number one for England?
That's the question, isn't it? Yeah,
That's a very good question.
there's a lot of questions behind this England side. Obviously, the manager's won, but then the number one. Obviously, we've got some cracking goalkeepers. I mean, Ramsdale is obviously, he had a hard time at Arsenal towards the end. I mean, you can talk about this, but obviously we've got Pope as well and Henderson. So we've got 4 good choice keepers. But I mean, I think Ramsdale personally should be up there. I mean, I don't know about you. He's at Southampton now, but I think Pickford's done his turn. But it's a hard position, isn't it? Because you can only have one goalkeeper on the pitch, and they all deserve the number one shirt because they've all been brilliant.
With Ramsdale, it's one of those where at Arsenal he had 2 brilliant seasons, really, really good, really solid. David Raya comes in, and you think, can he get better than Ramsdale?
Yeah,
and it did, and it was really unfortunate because Ramsdale was unbelievable. He was a key part to Arteta when he first came in. You know, what was it? 25 million was spent on him. I thought, what are we doing? You know, why are we getting a Championship keeper who's just got back-to-back relegations? He comes in, and it's unreal, and it's unbelievable. And for a long time, I thought that's the man to take over England number one. You know, he did for a little bit of period of time. He played against, I think, San Marino when you lot won 10-0. But overall, if you're taking Pickford or Ramsdale, I'm taking Ramsdale any day of the week.
I'm taking Pope.
He's an interesting one for me because I think he's massively fallen off after his shoulder injury.
See, I thought at Burnley he was always a good goalkeeper, and then he got that move to Newcastle, and now he is Newcastle's number one.
And he was sensational in that first season. At Newcastle.
He's been brilliant. He was brilliant at Burnley, and he's been brilliant at Newcastle as well. So yeah, I think he deserves a spot in the squad as it stands on current form. But obviously, we've got another year to wait.
And also with Ramsdale, he's the younger option.
Yeah,
Pickford's hitting his 30s soon.
Yeah.
Pope's already in his 30s. Ramsdale's 25. You know, long term, he's the keeper. He's the one that you want.
How old's Henderson?
Late 20s, I think. He was at United for a long time. But he's been impressive for Palace. I'll give him that. He definitely deserves an England call-up. Is he number one? I don't think so. But
no, it's one you've got to weigh in it. I mean, the new gaffer may come in if Carsley isn't successful, and it's one that the gaffer will make. It's not one that us as fans can really point out, because as we've said, we've named 4 brilliant goalkeepers who do deserve the number one shirt. Anyway, moving on from international football, we've got Premier League action coming back, and we've also got a big game here in Cheltenham. Well, it's not actually here in Cheltenham.
It's in Colchester.
But we have Colchester versus Cheltenham. So Harry,
should we start with that one?
I think we should start with that. It's going to be a good weekend, hopefully, for Harry.
Well,
no, probably not for Cheltenham, but
no.
Yeah, let's start with the obvious question going into this game. The manager of Cheltenham,
Michael Flynn.
Michael Flynn.
Yeah,
he's in the press conference on Saturday. I was gifted enough to be there. He said that he blamed the players effectively, and that's just something you cannot do. And he just constantly blamed the players, and then said, "Oh, I'm not blaming the players," when he was.
And this is off the back of a 3-2 defeat to Swindon, isn't it?
And it was a pretty damning 3-2 defeat.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it's close. It was a 3-0, and then they brought 2
I was going to say,
back.
I didn't actually see the game, but I had the notifications on and saw that, Swindon were dominating, and then got 2 back, and I was like, oh, maybe something's happened. Like, we went the other week, didn't we, to the Cheltenham Accrington Stanley, and they were 1-0 down in the first half, and the second half they brought it back, and they played brilliantly. So, Cheltenham where are they in the table? I don't even know.
23rd.
Oh, they
21st, Cheltenham.
21st.
Are we 15th, 16th?
And Colchester is 17th.
I think
so.
It's tough for Cheltenham. They're in a really rough spot.
It's a hard one for Cheltenham, but it's also a hard one for us because we're expected to go and win it and get the 3 points. But then you look at our current form, and you're like, actually it's going to be a scrap. And with the play styles of both teams, you got to look at. I think we'll win. I don't think it'll be a convincing win. I think it'll be a 2-1 or a 3-1, 3-2. Sorry.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, last week your game was postponed.
Our game was postponed for international duties.
Yes. So your most recent result, was Carlisle at home.
Yes, and it was a draw.
Right. And that was a 0-0 draw. Who are bottom of the table
Yes,
as
exactly.
it stands. So I think this week is going to be a massive one because Cheltenham obviously 21st in the league. Well, if they are 3 points off relegated. Because I'm not. League 2 is 23rd and 24th. Who go
so
down.
two teams go down.
Yes. So they are 3 points off relegation compared to Colchester, who are 4 points off.
Yeah.
So this could be a massive weekend for both teams.
And it's also a deciding factor because the fan base is slowly turning on our manager, Danny Cowley.
I was going to ask, I've seen a lot online about Danny Cowley not being the right man for the job. You always stick to your guns.
I will stick to him because obviously the manager before him, Matty Everington, no one wanted him in charge. He was appointed as interim, won a game, and then lost 12 on the row. And as soon as Danny Cowley came in, he's got the prestige. He's been at Lincoln. He's won the promotions. He's done all this. He hasn't done anything to upset me yet. He hasn't done anything to...
Nothing personal to you?
No.
Not yet.
But he's not... He hasn't shown the quality I know he can show as a manager. And I think give him time and he will. Which is why I'm sticking with him. You know, because you give... What is it? It's not even... I think it's 11 games played or 10 games played or something stupid.
Yeah, there's not many games played in League 2
no,
yet.
It's
played,
just
played more than the Prem. Because
obviously we
season.
start a week before the Prem or something like that.
And we're talking about like kind of relegation, 3 pointers there.
But I don't think it is. I don't think we're in the relegation. I think we're a mid-table team at this point.
But for now, I'm saying league standings wise,
league standing.
This is what it is. And also for Leicester, they've got Southampton.
Oh yeah, talking of relegation,
Southampton away on Saturday, and that's two teams. One has not won yet in the Prem.
I was going to say we'll come on to the Premier League now.
Leicester got their first win. Against Bournemouth.
Should we start at the top before we go off? Because I could probably go on a rant about Leicester, but should we begin with the start of the Premier League, or shall we go straight into Leicester and get them out?
Whatever you want, mate. Whatever you want.
Should we hit first?
Yeah.
So obviously we've got the Saturday lunchtime kick-off, Spurs and West Ham.
Good game.
It will be a very good game. Probably one which could be towards the top of match of the day as well, because you've got obviously Tottenham who are 9th for the minute, a few points off those European places, and West Ham are only a few points. Yeah, 2 points.
Do you know
behind.
what? I've got a problem with West Ham. They are such an incredible team, talent-wise, unbelievable team. Look at their team, Kudus.
Yeah,
you got Kilman. You got not Pope, Areola. You got Bowen. Falkrew came in. I know he's injured, but the players they've signed, Todibo, for example, one of the best French centre-backs last season for Nice, and they're struggling. And I think there's only one reason why, and it's their manager. Lopetegui is not proven in the Prem.
No. But was that not last season as well?
Yeah,
Moyes was the issue.
Yeah, he was, and I think it was his time to go, but Lopetegui was not the right man.
Yeah,
at Wolves he was god awful. His football is negative. That West Ham team does not.
And it's such a contrast from a few seasons ago when they won the Conference League, and they had that good run in
Europe, weren't they?
And they had that good run in the Europa League as well. I remember thinking they came up against Bayer Leverkusen, which you're gonna lose to, unfortunately.
I mean,
because that was their unbeaten. That was last season where he took them to that semi-final, quarter-final, and then lost. And you always lose that.
You thought this season West Ham would have a good season. Obviously, they signed the likes of Somerville from Leeds, which is a cracking signing. They got Fulkrug from Dortmund as well. Lost James Ward-Prowse this season, but they bought in Carlos Soler as well from
Aaron Wan-Bissaka
PSG.
came in.
Wan-Bissaka, they bought in some cracking players.
Guido Rodriguez, free agent from Real Betis. He was one of the best defensive midfielders stats-wise in La Liga last year, and he's looked like a shell of what he's.
But let's not forget the
of.
players as well they've already got, the likes of Lucas Paquetá, Jared Bowen. They've clearly got the quality there, but it's not been shown on the pitch. And I think this weekend will be a really interesting clash, because obviously Spurs have been playing quite well. Well, we say playing quite well. Last time out, wasn't it? Last time out against Brighton, it was all going so well until Brighton turned around in the second half. So
until Tottenham do what they do.
Bottle it.
They'll have it. It'll be a good game on Saturday.
I think so.
Score predictions, boys, for that game. I'll give a 3-0 Tottenham just instantly. 3-0.
I watched West Ham play Chelsea in the early kickoff last couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Dreadful. I think Tottenham win this about 3-1.
I think I was going to go 2-1 to Tottenham.
Yeah.
So
I think unanimous Tottenham win.
I think Tottenham need the win, but so do West Ham. But no, like I said, it'll be a brilliant clash on Saturday lunchtime. Fulham Villa.
Okay. Fulham, underrated team this year. Do you think they've been fantastic?
Completely agree.
I think
so good.
Yeah.
They've been unbelievable. I mean, can we just first of all, their business has been class. Smith Rowe came in.
They've signed a couple of your own.
Smith Rowe came in. Nelson come in on loan, and the fans love him. He's looked unbelievable. Anderson from Palace. I mean, that I didn't see happening at all. And then
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
There wasn't any rumours or anything about that either. It was just instant.
It was just suddenly, and they got the paperwork done really fast as well.
Obviously, he was already there on loan. A couple of seasons back during lockdown. Went Palace, had a brilliant couple of spells, and then come back, and he's looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, Sander Berg, again, very talented player.
Very good signing from Burnley. Yeah.
Burnley, was he voted their best player of the season last year?
I think he was up there.
There wasn't many. Sander Berg was very, very good. Again, Smith Rowe, I think, is probably their best signing. Yeah. But Raul Jimenez has looked world class. He looked like he's gone back to his Wolves form.
Smith Rowe was rumoured with like RB Leipzig and teams like that a few seasons ago. Like it wasn't out of the blue, but you wouldn't expect him to have gone to Fulham.
It was one of those because I remember when I saw it, there were links with him and Villa.
Yes.
And apparently Villa had sent in a bid, and then David Ornstein came out and said Fulham have basically agreed a bid, and now they just need to agree personal terms, and it was done that quickly.
Yeah, they've started well as well this season, Fulham have, but we can't forget the team they're facing. Yes, it's at home, but a very, very in-form Aston Villa side are coming to Craven Cottage. I mean, what can we say about Aston Villa this season so far?
There's
Champions
so much
League,
to say about them.
Champions League, I don't know where they are in the Carabao Cup. I can't remember what they've done so far.
I don't even know what draw they got.
Yeah, Adonis is quickly Googling it.
So they've got Palace round 4.
Right, okay, so you'd think
in a couple weeks time.
You want to hope that they get through to that. No obviously offence to any Palace supporters, but you think Villa would sweep through to the next round there. But let's talk about Champions League football. Villa.
Let's talk about the man, John Duran.
John Duran, number 9.
What a player!
Yeah. What a goal!
He's been a brilliant striker for Villa this season. It's so key that they kept hold of him because obviously he was a signature away from going to West Ham, wasn't he? So
and what difference that could have made to West Ham?
Yeah, West Ham, but also Villa this season. How many times they relied on him? I mean, Leicester fan myself, we were fortunately at 1-1 with Villa until the late stages of the game, and they brought on John Duran and he went and scored and won the game for them. So he'll probably play a key part once again this Saturday.
And I just want to point out Emiliano Martinez. Obviously Duran with a fantastic goal against Bayern, but I'm looking at stats here of Martinez against Bayern. First of all, man of the match, 9 stars out of 10. He made 10 recoveries. He made 7 saves. Yeah, and without him, he's a joke. Without him,
you can see, can't you? He's the best goalkeeper in the world by far. I mean, he's done it. He's done it all. He's won the World Cup with Argentina. You're giving me the dirty looks.
Yep.
I think he's easily the best goalkeeper in the world.
I don't think he's best goalkeeper in the world, but I think he's second best.
Who do you think's best in the world?
Our goalkeeper from Colchester.
Yeah,
Mathieson.
Yeah, all right, mate.
I agree with you.
I think he is the best goalkeeper. Like what he's succeeded. You're shaking your head.
Who do you think then? Go on, say it.
I think undeniable number 1 is Courtois. Always has been, always will be.
Still now. Based
100%.
off current form.
100%.
Hold on, let me get up Courtois' stars.
100%. Courtois is the reason why Real Madrid win most of their games.
See, I really think I think Martinez, some of the performances he's pulled out of not just this season but the last few seasons, including the World Cup.
All right. This season he's played 8 matches. He started all 8 of them. He's had 3 clean sheets and he's conceded 6 goals. Courtois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
the goals conceded weren't really his fault.
I mean, we're not denying he's not a bad goalkeeper.
It's a couple pens.
Absolutely.
Courtois, he's
a couple pens,
he's
but
a top goalkeeper.
He's an unbelievable goalkeeper. I still back him as number one. I'd take him over Martinez.
Wow.
But I'm not obviously Martinez. I think is up there. I think he's top 5, 100%. But I think Courtois, undeniable at this point. Number one, multi-time Champions League winner, and I'm just going to say they would not have won the Champions League against Dortmund if it wasn't for him.
Wow. There you go.
So on stats, you would agree with Adonis on because 9 goals conceded.
But on current form, I have to go Martinez.
Oh,
especially the performance against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, which is fair.
Anyway,
but is that because we watch more Prem football than La Liga?
Yeah,
potentially.
There you go.
That's true.
Anyway, dragging it back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Score predictions for Fulham versus Aston Villa. 2 big sides coming up against each other. Both of them with big objectives for this season.
I'll let you two go first.
I think Fulham 2-2.
So I'm going to go 2-0 Villa. I think Villa will have it in the bag.
Oh, I thought I said I was going to go 3-2 Villa.
Okay.
High scoring game.
So I think me and Harry are saying it's a Villa win.
I think draw. I think
draw.
Craven Cottage.
Is it Craven Cottage?
Bouncing.
Yeah.
That
very
game.
True. Yeah. Right. Next one. Ipswich versus Everton at Portman Road.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Ipswich newly promoted, along with my team Leicester and Southampton. What do we think about this one? Who wins out?
I think there's
one name.
There's key players in this game that are undeniable. I think Liam Delap.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Start off with the big man, the man who scored what is it, 2 or 3 in his last 2 games.
The man we'll probably be talking about next week, saying he scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
Three goals in his last 4 games. 2 against Villa in what was a really important draw for them.
Yeah,
and 1 against a disappointing 4-1 loss against West Ham.
Yeah, it's a massive game for both sides, isn't it? It's like there's 2 massive games down towards the bottom of the table this week.
It is deciding relegation, really.
It could be. I mean, in terms of Everton's, it's a must-win for them. But
what has gone wrong with them?
Sean Dyche.
Do you think?
Yeah. It has to be Dyche. You look at the team, and you look at the team last season. Hasn't changed much.
But I think you've got to also look at the business that Everton have made this season.
They haven't really made any.
I'm just going to say I'm going to disagree. I think their business has been great. I think their business has been really good. I think Dyche is the problem because he's not playing any of them. They've got Breuer on loan from Chelsea. They've got Mangala on loan from Lyon.
Mm-hmm.
They've signed Jake O'Brien, who was one of the best young centre-backs in League 1 last year. 5 goals, 2 assists.
They got Broha from Chelsea.
Yeah. 5 goals, 2 assists last season.
But they've made all these signings. But
Jasper Lindstrom, Iliman Ndiaye.
Are they the right... I mean, Iliman Ndiaye has been brilliant for them.
I honestly think you play Jake O'Brien and Jared Braithwaite together. Branthwaite, whatever his name is. Jared Branthwaite, Jake O'Brien together, and you drop Starkowski, you start winning games.
Do you think?
Yeah. Then do you think
was it the right business? That's the question though around Everton. Is it the manager? Is it the business? Is it even the style of play?
It could be all 3 though.
Or the tactics. You never know, do you? With Everton,
no.
Obviously.
Everton are
they've had a poor start. There's no denying it at all. They've started poorly once again this season, and they are going to be a threat down 100%. At the bottom of the table.
And going back to Jake O'Brien, I know I'm talking a lot about him, but when I watched League 1 last year, I was really impressed with him in particular. When I was watching Lyon, they were having a really crap time. They were like bottom for a long time, and he was the only player when you were watching that team thinking he's got potential. He came from Palace, their academy. He's Irish, so he'll probably get in the Ireland team a couple of years' time. He's only 23, and he was in the top 73% of players in League 1 with 126 recovery runs from players who are gone past him.
Yeah.
And I think there was a stat going around that him and William Saliba were the only 2 defenders in Europe that hadn't been dribbled past for a long time. And he's really impressive. Every time you watch him, he's massive as well. He's about 6'4". He's got a big body. He's got a rugby built. I think you put him with Branthwaite, you start winning games. Yeah. Defence wins your trophies.
But whilst you got Ipswich in the way this weekend, Ipswich with their star man up top. Was he permanently signed for Manchester City?
He was. It was at 25 million.
25 million, Liam Delap. Yeah. I mean, what a player he's been.
And
what a signing.
You talk about transfers. Ipswich transfers haven't been poor in the slightest.
No, they've made some brilliant signs, haven't they? Obviously,
really good.
Your favourite player, Harry, Sammy Smodics.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. I'm just going to call him Sammy.
Big Sam.
I don't think he started many games though for them. I think he's come off the bench.
No, he's been a bench player.
Yeah.
He started one game.
Unfortunate because he had a cracking season. Obviously, I watched him a lot last season with Leicester being in the Championship. I saw him how obviously Golden Boot winner as well in the Championship, and I was gobsmacked at the signing because I thought it would have been a good one for Leicester. So when Ipswich got him, I was like, fair play to Ipswich, because they've got a banging player there.
He had a really good start to the season as well.
Yeah.
Like with Blackburn, it was 3 goals and 1 assist in 2 games where he left. And he started 1 game, which was against City, and he scored in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And since then he hasn't had a look in.
No, I mean,
and it's unfortunate because he's a great player.
I mean, he's just one of the many that Ipswich have signed. We can also have a look at Calvin Phillips as well.
Just about bring him up.
He's struggled, isn't he? The last couple of seasons, obviously.
It's been tough, hasn't it?
Man City didn't work out at all. West Ham didn't work out.
He was shocking at West Ham.
He was. Yeah, he just never kicked off really, did it? And then now at Ipswich, I mean, it's another fresh start, isn't it? And maybe it will eventually fit into place, but you got to feel sorry for him, really.
100%. There's a player in there.
Yeah,
it's just about confidence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw him at Leeds, and we saw him at England for a bit as well.
I was going to say, yeah, him and Rice. Was it Euro 2020?
2020.
He
got us to the final.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, so no, I think both sides need a win this weekend.
Yes, 100%.
But I've got to be rooting for Ipswich. I think they've got the quality. It's at home. Portman Road is a fortress when it's a full sellout. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Ipswich this weekend.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Ipswich.
Oh, and I've had it as a draw, 1-1.
Fair. I think any of those results they take.
Yeah. Well, Everton are in need of a win.
Yeah, I was about
Everton
to say,
still
are.
I believe it's still winless.
But
I'm sure they are.
I think they won the last game, didn't they?
I'm not
they beat Palace 2-1.
Oh, they beat Palace. That's right. Sorry. Yes.
So they're sat on 5 points. They're 2 points off the relegation.
That's right.
Relegation scrap.
Yes.
Because Palace occupy 18th at the moment.
Yes. Yes. That's correct. Sorry.
So what's the next game? Man United Brentford.
Wow. It's another big game, isn't it?
It's a big game. I think it's a big game for a man.
For a
certain man.
Yes.
A certain bald man.
A certain bald man in Erik ten Hag. I think. Is this the game that decides?
I was going to say what the pressure on this game must be immense. You know.
I don't think I've ever seen a fan base so divided about a manager ever.
I have. I saw United a few seasons ago be divided over a manager. They're constantly divided over their manager.
But I think this is the most because
this could be
where they're sat. They're 14th on 8 points, 2 points behind Leicester, 3 points behind Everton, 4 against Ipswich behind Ipswich, right? And that is the worst start to a Man United season ever.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag beat his own record from last season.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not looking very good for him right now.
No.
And I'm going to put it out there now. I know we're not doing score predictions or anything, but I have Brentford to win this game.
Yeah. No, I also think Brentford will have this one on the weekend. Obviously, it's at Old Trafford, but it doesn't make a difference. If your team aren't playing right, you're not going to pick up results, are you? And obviously, you can go and blame the manager. You can say it's not the manager's fault.
We have to blame certain players as well.
You've got to blame the players.
100%.
There's a few of them like Rashford. Like he's not in form at the moment.
No, he's really dropped off. Yeah, I mean even Garnacho, the hype behind him when he came, through the ranks, and
I mean he's showing his quality still though.
He is, and I feel like he's still got a lot left in him. But like I said, Rashford is, he's got to find his boots, doesn't he, somewhere, the ones that fit him.
Xerxes is.
I also want to talk about Brentford for a second. Let's just credit them because. Yeah. I think 3-4 games now they've scored within the first couple seconds.
Will it happen again?
Will it happen again?
It has to.
Do you
I think Brian Mbeumo is the one to look out for. 6 goals in 7 games.
Yeah. I mean, Man United are the team who are never switched on at the start of games. So I will not be surprised if they do nick another one.
And it'll probably be that man as well.
It could be.
Quickest goal in Premier League history?
I think it was Ericsson for Tottenham. 7 seconds or something like that.
Jeez.
Are we going to see one like that?
Straight off kick-off, maybe.
It could be.
Who knows? But what do you say about prediction Brentford to win?
Oh, I have 3-2 Brentford.
3-2 Brentford, Harry?
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because you want to hope, well, in terms of Man United fans, you want to hope they turn up because they've not turned up yet this season.
Well, they have to.
However, Brentford, like you said, so in form at the minute. They're going to be ready for it. Are Man United? Who knows?
And 3 points takes Brentford to 6th place.
Yeah,
without Brighton playing.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely brilliant start.
I think Brentford win this 2-1. Yeah, probably.
I'm also going to go for a 2-1 to Brentford. I feel like they'll be too strong for United.
I'm just wishing for more goals.
Yeah. Well, we've got another spicy 3 p.m. kickoff.
We have
Newcastle versus Brighton.
Wow.
At St James's Park.
This is the big one.
I think this is it's another cracking game, isn't it?
Is this the game of the weekend?
No.
I don't think it is because there's a certain game.
There's a certain game
on Super Sunday, which
seen. Yeah.
But I think in terms of Saturday, yeah, this may be. I'm interested in Spurs West Ham because I feel like that'll be a very even game, and I feel like either side can pick up some vital points in that.
Yeah.
However, yes, game of the weekend, a very, very informed Brighton side. Obviously, that comeback against Spurs will not be forgotten for a while, and obviously Newcastle as well, still hunting for more European glory.
Will that weigh them down then?
Who knows? Yeah, it's good.
And do you know what? It's been an alright start to the season for Newcastle.
Yeah,
12 points, 7 games. Obviously, they didn't beat Everton. 0-0 draw, which is quite boring draw as well. Not many chances. You had Gordon's penalty, which was saved. But I think this is St James's Park. Normally, is absolutely rocking.
Yeah, I mean it's 6th versus 7th, isn't it? As well,
Yeah.
which is the fans are gonna be on the backs of the players. I mean, Brighton always have a good following, but you got to think about the travelling. Thank God it's a 3 p.m. kickoff.
Oh yeah.
Because Brighton to Newcastle, they're going to be travelling. They're going to be leaving early, aren't they?
Yeah.
But Brighton will be ready for it. Like Brentford, I see them both as just cracking teams with brilliant managers. Brighton will be ready. They will take the game to Newcastle, but I think it will be a stalemate.
Oh, that's it.
I can see it being a 0-0 easily.
Easy 0-0.
But I feel like there will be big chances. I feel like there will be chances missed, for sure. And I can see it being a 0-0 easily.
I think there's a couple of goals in this game. I think
Really?
maybe a draw, 1-1. Just something like...
It's one of those games, isn't it? Both teams can score goals, can't
100%,
they?
100%.
But against each other, how will they line up?
As long as Welbeck scores, I'm happy. FPL is rocking, boys.
How good has he been for Brighton this season?
Oh, he's been unbelievable, hasn't
He suddenly disappeared for a couple of years, and now he's back.
And he's scoring for fun as well.
He looks better than he has ever looked before.
Absolutely.
The best bit is this is one of the games of the weekend I have nothing riding on in terms of FPL.
Yeah.
So I don't care if this is like 0-0.
We will have to do a
little FPL team.
FPL team reveal at some point.
No.
And an update because we're all in an FPL league and we're all
all
playing
in
it this season.
different FPL leagues. Yeah.
But we're all playing it.
We're cooking, bro. We're cooking.
So no, we'll definitely have to do an episode on that at some point. But no, let's just lock in the Newcastle Brighton predictions then. So I've said 0-0. I can't remember.
1-1 for me.
0-0.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
I think we're all going for
we
draws.
all think a draw, which is fair enough. Now then,
incredible game of the season, and it's 3 p.m. kickoff as well.
Can
you imagine?
Kickoff. Oh,
Yeah.
the fans would be furious.
Oh, absolutely.
right,
Here we go.
we're moving on to a big one.
Here we go.
A massive one for me: Southampton versus Leicester City. Now then, we've had history at Southampton.
Very good history at Southampton.
Obviously, it was a few years back now, but in the Premier League, we have scored many goals at St Mary's Stadium.
That's one way to put it.
And last season as well in the Championship, I want to say 3-0, but don't take my word for it. But we definitely beat them at St Mary's Stadium last season. We beat them 5-0 at home, but I want to say 2 or 3-0, maybe 3-1 against.
It was a 4-1 win.
4-1 was it? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we play well at St Mary's Stadium. Sorry. Maybe because it probably is the Red King Power Stadium, because it literally is identical. But no, I'm pretty confident this weekend off a very good win against Bournemouth 2 weeks ago at home. Let's hope we can take the momentum into this weekend as well and beat Southampton at St Mary's Stadium.
I think history also has your side on this one. I'm looking at the stats here. 12 wins in the Premier League era for you against Southampton. Also in the Championship as well in the recent matches right now. And that's going back till 2011. So you've won 12 games against them.
Yeah.
And all of them have been quite large scoreline wise. You know, you got your historic 9-0.
Yeah.
You got 5-0 last season, 4-1. You had another 4-1 at home in 2022.
Yeah.
This is, I think, also for Steve Cooper.
There's always goals in this game.
Yeah, always goals in this game.
That's
you can
what
bank
you can
on that.
promise, can't you?
And
Yeah.
I think for Steve Cooper, this is a very important game.
It is.
But also, on the flip side, Russell Martin? Southampton
yes,
boss?
I believe so, yeah.
A huge game for him as well. Because if they lose this one, it's 7 without a win.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're looking at territory where you're going to get sacked.
I mean, as well, it's 2 promoted sides, isn't it? 2 sides who haven't made much business either.
No.
Who
Through
have
the
you
door.
signed this season?
So we obviously had the transfer ban, points deduction looming over, which was overturned in the end. Well, thank God for me. It saved us. But yeah, we didn't really sign anybody because of this points deduction. We struggled to get a manager. I mean, I was fortunate with Steve Cooper to come through the door, because obviously he's done it before at Forest to keep us up. Well, keep Forest up. Hopefully he can do the same with us if it goes that bad.
Wasn't he sacked the season after?
He was, yeah. So, but he's got that experience in keeping a team up. But because of this points deduction, we didn't make many signings in the summer. I mean, we bought in a couple of attacking options. You got to look at Oliver Skip, 25 million from Tottenham.
It's an interesting deal. That.
It was, wasn't it? It was a weird one, but 25 million for an English midfielder these days is crazy. But it's what it is, isn't it?
And looking at Southampton's business, I arguably would say it's a better window than yours. Ramsdale's come in, Cameron Archer's come in and looks good.
Yeah,
Leslie Ogochukwu has come in on loan, very talented player.
Yeah.
Ben Browns and Diaz has come in. Flynn Downs has come in and he's already got the captaincy. Yukinari Sagawara, who's unbelievable last year for AZ Alkmaar. 4 goals, 8 assists. Season before, 4 goals, 10 assists. He's looked good. You've had players like that Brazilian Mateus Fernandes, I think his name is, Portuguese or something like that, has come in, played against us. He looked unbelievable against us. And
Southampton took the lead against you as well.
They did. And I don't really know what the problem for them is. I'm not sure if it's the wrong system, if it's the wrong manager, if it's just too many players can't click. But they're definitely one of those teams where you think, for the squad you have, you should be doing better than what you're doing.
They need to be picking up results.
There's a bigger team coming up that we'll talk about that play on the Sunday that I think have that issue to an absolute level.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But no, overall with this game, being a Leicester fan myself, I've got to support the Leicester boys.
Well, you'd hope so.
I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for Leicester.
I think it's going to be an absolute battering of Southampton. I think they're going to win 4-0.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh
wow! Oh
yeah, I'm going for it.
I don't mind that.
I think Leicester are going to absolutely blow them out of the water. I think now that they've got 1 win, this is it now. I think you get into that territory where you're thinking not a lot of players have gone away for internationals, and you got a whole team. I think Southampton at home have been shaky, and they've looked shaky. 1 point in 7 games, not good at all. And I think one win is gonna. I think 4-0 comfortable.
Wow.
It's a 1-0 written all over it.
Really?
It's a 1-0 Leicester.
Okay, I was going to say who to.
Leicester. Imagine Sue Smith covers it.
Yeah,
Soccer Saturday, Sue Smith.
Love it.
Right, moving on to the 5:30 game. Here we go.
Yeah.
Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Well,
big game.
I've just spoke about Bournemouth. Obviously, Leicester picking up a victory against them.
Yeah.
They look good.
They look good.
We got away with it. They had a lot of chances. I think they hit the bar and the post a few times. So we got away with a 1-0 victory. On their day, they are a good side, and it is at the Vitality Stadium, so they're behind their own fans. However, we've got to talk about Arsenal.
What
Don't we
season
always?
you're having?
Is this the season for Arsenal? We're 7 games in now. We're 7 games in, so I've seen a bit of them.
They said that when they were like 5 points ahead in the league, and
I think
so. You're third.
Yeah,
on level
I think
points.
7 games. 7 games is way too early to tell if you're going to win the league. If we keep playing the football we're playing, we've got a chance, 100%. But Vitality Stadium is somewhere where we've had some good stuff. We've been winning quite comfortably when we go there now. I think it was 4-0 last season. The season before was a 3-0 win. We've got some good results. We've had some poor results, but that's going back a couple of years now, like past lockdown. But obviously, Arsenal have just we've been really, really good.
I mean, you're on a 4 in a row win streak at the minute, so
we've been unbelievable.
You're going to take a lot of momentum and a lot of positives into this game,
and obviously
it's a must win. Really,
it's a must win. It is, because
on the title, this is a must win game.
Yeah,
it's a 6-pointer, isn't it?
And 100%. And Bournemouth are one of those teams where it's a banana peel. You can slip on it, and you think, well, there we go. That's the end of our season. And trust me, I've thought about that a lot. Going 1-0 down to Southampton and then not playing the best football at Villa, and then having tough moment. The moment against City when Stone scored in the 98th minute was a dagger to my heart.
Yeah.
And you think, if that went differently, how different will this table look? But going back to the Bournemouth game, they've got some great players. Antoine Semenyo, Marcus Tavernier.
Yeah.
I like their goalkeeper, Kepa. I think he's doing all right for them.
Good signing that. Yeah.
Evan Nilsson's just coming up front. The lad from Porto looks good.
Kepa signing alone or?
Yeah, it's
a loan
season. Yeah. But I think this is another comfortable win for us. I think 3-0 Arsenal or 3-1.
Bournemouth one of those sides, aren't they? They can cause trouble.
100%.
They can cause trouble out of nowhere. They can create chances. I think Arsenal will win this. I think I'm going to go with a 3-0 as well.
I agree with Harry. I think.
Yeah.
3-0. I think from the quality of both sides, obviously Kepa playing for Real Madrid last season.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I think.
It has to be a 3-0.
it has to be.
Yeah.
Obviously to Arsenal.
Yeah, because I'll kill him.
I was gonna say, moving on to Super
I've
Sunday.
just seen an absolute banging game.
Oh, the
Moving on
first
to Super
game
Sunday.
is at the Molineux.
It's a massive
You're going to
game,
absolutely
isn't
laugh
it?
at my predictions for these games, by the way.
Super Sunday.
The Molineux is the one that I want to talk
Well,
about.
that's the one we're
most.
going on to
Go on,
now.
Harry. Go on.
2 p.m.
We'll let you have this
Wolverhampton
one.
Wanderers versus Manchester City.
This is the game that Wolves win. This is the game Wolves win.
Yes, I also agree with
Do
you.
you think?
I think so. Yeah.
You really think Wolves?
This has to be the
This
game.
has to be,
So
yeah.
Wolves are currently bottom of the table. I believe
Yep.
that. Is it just 1 point?
1 point.
1 point.
1 point from
Minus
7
12 goal
games.
difference.
You believe this is the game?
I think this is the
This
game.
is the
Despite
game.
the
Last
open
season-
title race this season as well, because there's
Yeah.
easily 3 teams involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be more. Who knows? But for now, there are. You got your Man City, you got your Liverpool, and you got your Arsenal, who
Yes.
are all
Yeah.
fighting for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the game.
This is the game. Last season here, they won 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And Man City have looked a shell of the side they look without Rodri.
Yeah.
Against
Exactly.
Fulham, they were so open, and Fulham definitely could have won that game. If Traore could finish his dinner, they'd be perfect. they'd be like 3-3, 4-3 maybe.
So you're saying with Rodri out,
I think they
not just
struggle.
Wolves, but every team in the Premier League
Yeah.
have a chance against Manchester
I think they
City
struggle.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going that far. No.
I
I'm
don't
just
think.
saying
I don't think
from
your
a-
Southampton will struggle. I don't think Leicester would struggle.
I'm going from a point of view that I think Wolves have the team to do it.
100%.
Do you think?
I don't think. I think this is the team. I mean, there's questions about the manager roaring on currently. This is the game that he needs to win, and last season we saw he needed to beat City, and he did. So
We've already touched on it though with Rodri being out for Manchester City, but you can't signal just him out because obviously they've got the
quality.
talisman up front.
They've got
Erling
depth
Haaland.
for days, mate. They can
But
supply
you
a
know,
second team that's
they
better
had
than our
Har-
first.
They had
Yeah.
Haaland last season, and they still lost.
Very true.
It is
But,
very true.
I mean, I think Jeremy Doku has come a lot more into the style of Guardiola. I think he's. No, I don't know why you're shaking your head. I think
shaking your head.
No, he's
I think
so
he's-
overrated.
I think he's finally fitted into the Pep system, and I think he is really starting to show his true quality in a Man City shirt. I mean,
Would
You've
you
still
have,
got your
would
Foden
you have
as
shaken
well.
your head if he'd said Phil Foden?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're an Arsenal fan.
No,
You've
well,
got
let's-
the
no,
fires.
because Foden has not been what he has been.
yeah, but you as well.
He
Imagine
turns
if Man
up.
City still had Palmer.
Oh my!
he
We'll
get in
be
the team?
we'll be
Does
here
he get
for
in the team?
hours.
Does he get? Oh, that's the other thing, isn't it?
Does he get in the team? No.
They've got such a good side. Yeah, well, obviously Rodri's been massive. for
Palmer
them.
makes the team.
The starting 11.
Starting 11 for
He
City.
makes starting 11 for City.
right now.
Who do you take out?
Gundogan.
So you, no, but
You go
Gundogan-
attacking. You go fully attacking.
wow.
So you leave one deep playmaker.
You
and
have
without Rodri, it'd be Kovacic.
Yeah.
So here's another question for you then. Sunday, who do you think will be the key players to look out for, either for Wolves or Manchester City?
Haaland.
As always. Yeah.
Yeah. You have
Who-
to.
So you're very, very, very strong with this Wolves
Oh yeah.
Wolves performance on Sunday. Who do you think
Well,
has to step up or will step up for Wolves this Sunday?
I genuinely believe.
Just googling the players.
Mate, they've sold so many.
I can answer
Yeah.
the question. I can answer your question.
Yeah.
Whilst he's looking for his...
Pablo Sarabia as well.
I mean, they've got Sarabia.
Dick
They've got
up.
that Matthias Cunha as well.
That's the man.
Do you think he's the?
I think he's the one that's
He's the one that's
sharp.
He scored last. He
He
scored
scored last week.
Yeah.
And I'm looking now at the team last week.
He's in
Brentford.
my FPL. That's the other reason why I want him to win. He's in my FPL.
You've got Cunha who scored.
Yeah.
You've got that Jürgen Strand Larsen who scored, and Aït-Nouri scored for Brentford against Brentford. Key players, if they are to win this game, which I think they will, I think Cunha has to deliver a 9 out of 10 max, which he's been doing for a long
Jose
time.
Sarr still their starting goalkeeper?
It's Sam Johnson now.
Sam Johnson. Yeah.
So that's my issue with Wolves right now.
Yeah.
It's their goalkeeper.
I don't think. Nah.
He's not. We saw him at West
he
Brom in the
conceded
Prem.
5 last game out.
I don't think Wolves have the quality at all. I know I'm putting that out there, but I am very, very strongly. Well, I want. How do I put this? I think Wolves will be relegated this season.
Okay.
Do you think Gary O'Neill gets?
I think Gary O'Neill has had his time at Wolves. I think they need to look out for someone else
Who
because
do you replace?
they are in the danger zone at the minute. If they do lose to Manchester City this week, which is I want to say it is likely. right? As much as you think, Harry, it is likely.
It is likely.
I think, Wolves lose this weekend and they are in trouble because if I look at that squad, you've just picked out a couple of players, but I don't see anybody who can.
I don't see any
make a change
players
in this season to save them. I mean, they'll have to make. I don't even know what their money is like for the January window, but
I don't think
if they've got a pot of gold, they have got to spend it because they need some players in January to try and turn this season around. Because as it stands, they are going down without a doubt.
For me, Wolves have had a really tough start to the season. If you look at their opening fixtures, they've had Villa, Arsenal first game of the season, Liverpool. They've got to play City now. They've played Chelsea.
Yeah.
If you're playing 4 of the top 6.
I was going to say, so you could say
that's always been a bogey game for Wolves. I went to the game last season, Brentford Wolves, at the Molineux, and they lost 2-0. And they've lost to Brentford consecutively now. It's a tough game for them, always has been. But they've had a really, really tough start to the season. 1 point, obviously not ideal. That was against Nottingham Forest, who have also had a really good start to the season. We'll get onto them in a bit. But it's just he's unlucky.
It's a massive game, isn't it? This weekend?
And I think this is the game. This is the banker. This is the game they win.
Wolves have to win.
It's either the game Wolves win or the game Wolves lose so badly O'Neill gets sacked.
Yeah, there's either one or the other.
Yeah, it's a huge game. There's no doubt about it, and both teams need the 3 points. So it will be a brilliant game at 2 o'clock.
We'll start with you. What's your score prediction?
Yeah, go on.
See, I think City will win it. Like I've just said, I can't tell on all the points I've just made. I think Man City are going to win 4-0 easily. I think the quality. I know they haven't got Rodri, but the quality they've got amongst the others is just. It's going to blow Wolves away this weekend, and I do think, Man City need the win. They'll arrive at Molineux with the right mindset, and they will win by 4-0.
Okay. Do you want to go, Harry?
It's a 1-0 win for Wolves.
All right, I'm going for a 2-1 Wolves.
Wow. Okay, so you boys both think.
Come on, Wanderers.
This is the turnaround.
It's time.
This is it, man. This is it. If it's not this, he's gone.
Yeah.
The Wolves will be howling.
Well,
one way or another.
Super Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. We've got an even bigger clash. Liverpool versus Chelsea at Anfield.
Oh,
it's just How big of a game is this, Adonis?
It's massive, and you know what? It's massive for both teams because Chelsea are 3 points off fighting for the title. Liverpool want 3 points to remain top, so it's massive. And you see the players who are involved, world-class players from both teams. As much as I hate to say that Chelsea have world-class players, you can't lie. But this is a huge game, and I think this is going to be goals galore. I think there's going to be loads of goals in this game because Alisson's out until November for Liverpool, so that's tough for them. I don't think the Chelsea are missing anybody too important.
Is Reece James not
Reece James is back in training now. I don't think he'll make the Liverpool game, but he's back in training now. But this game's massive. It's huge. Especially for the top of the league. Say City lose, for example, Liverpool draw, Arsenal win, Arsenal go top.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would love that. Wouldn't we all? But
no.
Okay, all right. It's huge. It's a huge game.
Harry, in terms of Chelsea, obviously you can talk for ages about how much they've spent, but how big of a game is this for Chelsea, do you think?
Well, I mean, they drew to Nottingham Forest last week, and obviously all of that happened. But this week you've got to look at players like Nicholas Jackson. Laugh if you will, but because last season was not a good performance from the lad. But Cole Palmer's the one you've got to single out.
And he's the one, isn't he? Obviously, off the back of did he play for? He played for England, didn't he? On the
he did.
Against
he struggled against Greece and also played for Finland.
Did he come on for Finland or did he start?
He started.
He started for Finland.
Came off for that as well.
Yeah,
struggled.
So 2 England caps to add to his name. Coming off the back of that, obviously 1 defeat, 1 win. He will be the standout man again. You think, player of the month. He has been the star man for Chelsea.
This weekend. He's scoring.
Do you think he'll be the decider in the game, or do you think
he'll
Liverpool? Because I think this is a really tricky one to decide.
It's so hard. It's such a hard one to predict as well.
If it's not 5-4, then I'm disappointed.
Well, Liverpool are always going to turn up.
100%.
When was the last time? I mean, you can probably say Forest, but I didn't see the game, so I'd never know. But the last time Liverpool didn't turn up, would you be able to tell me? Apart from saying Forest,
it'd probably be last season,
Yeah.
I think the game goes Arsenal-Liverpool. at Emirates, won 3-1.
And
They were awful.
Yeah.
You've got to remember this is the record-breaking start for Liverpool in terms of slot.
Yeah, he's had a great start.
Yeah, he's
Well,
there's no doubt about Liverpool have had a great start this season.
It broke. I can't remember what record it
He
broke.
broke Klopp's record for the most Spark points in 7 games, I think it is. He's the first Liverpool manager to do that.
Yeah.
He's a history-breaking manager already.
I believe it's that, yeah.
However, Chelsea, let's not draw the line here. Chelsea have got
And their
some quality
their
players.
Goalkeeper,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Sanchez, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
However, this is the total opposite. Chelsea on their day, they could beat anybody, but this day only rocks up a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
Obviously we've talked about Palmer, and we can talk about Palmer for years, and he's a cracking player. But around him,
He's got Enzo.
he's got some good players around him, but they need to reach the level that Palmer's at. Otherwise, I mean, we've seen little bits, haven't we, from Nicholas Jackson this season.
He's been all right. He's been quite good.
But if Chelsea want anything, they
7 goals
need-
and assists in 7 games. He's on track. He's doing all right. 4 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah, it's a hard one to call, but I think Chelsea do need to step up to beat Liverpool
It's one
this
I see
weekend.
Liverpool winning.
Yeah, it is a tricky one. I'm going to go with a draw this weekend. I think I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw with Liverpool Chelsea. So
Yeah, I think there's 2 factors as to why Liverpool win this game. Fofana's out, suspension. Cucurella's out, suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Argue all you want, Cucurella's not a great player. All right, but he's been important for Chelsea this season.
Well,
Yeah.
Especially against West Ham. He was really good against West Ham. And both of them are out. Obviously, we know Reece James is out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move on to Liverpool. Alisson's out.
Yeah.
So you got 3 key players for the teams that are out.
Yeah.
So I also think Liverpool squad-wise, Salah,
Who's Liverpool's
Szoboszlai,
backup?
Kelleher.
They signed the other goalkeeper as well
They've
from
got
Spain.
Mamardashvili, who's out on loan at Valencia. So he's not coming in until next year.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be Kelleher. But you look at Liverpool's quality compared to Chelsea's team, and I just think it's one of those games where Salah will just feast against that back line.
Yeah,
Because I think Cucurella, Fofana are very big losses for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Disasi and Badiashile aren't the level Fofana is. And Chilwell's not going to play. So you think are they going to go 3 at the back? Are they going to play Colwell at left back and play Badiashile and Disasi?
Yeah.
If that's the case, Salah's going to have a field day.
Yeah. See, I'd say
So-
this is the biggest game of the weekend.
And it
by
all
far.
depends.
100%,
It
yeah.
all depends on that lineup from Chelsea because of the players they're missing now.
I mean, you could say Man City Wolves is a massive game, but in terms of the level of quality going into this game, you want goals, but you want a good performance from both sides. Because
Absolutely.
this is the sort of game which you can take positives from. Momentum comes from it, and that's what you can take into the rest of the season. And both teams, obviously Chelsea are competing in Europe as well as Liverpool, so both teams are going to be thinking ahead to that. But both teams need 3 points in the league, so
100%.
I think it'll be a good game. I think there'll be goals, but I'm going to stand by a 2-2 draw. So,
Yeah, I'm going to go for a...
You said 5-4 earlier.
Yeah, but that is true. No, I'm going to dumb it down a little bit. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Liverpool win.
Oh, see, I've gone 3-1 Liverpool.
Fair. And I think that's fair.
yeah.
And I think the one will be Cole Palmer.
Yeah, there's no one. Jackson will struggle against Van Dijk and Konate.
Yeah, but Van Dijk hasn't had an incredible season.
No, but he's still a man mountain. You don't get past him quite
True.
that easily. He's beast player.
Final game of this. Oh, boys.
Final game, Monday night.
They saved the greatest for last, boys.
You say that, Forest Palace. I mean, Forest.
It'll be a class
Yeah, they've had a
game.
great start.
It's at home as well. It's at the City ground, so it will be a good one. Palace obviously have fallen into the relegation zone, so they need to have a massive comeback
Well, they've
for this season to try and save their season. Otherwise, their season could sink away as well. I mean, they've got Everett Chieze. I don't know about you boys, but he is a quality player. They've got him. They've got Guehi. Is it Guehi? Guehi?
Yeah,
Guehi.
I don't know how we say it. I'm gonna go with Guehi.
Yeah, it's like Gehi or something. I don't know, whatever he says. Yeah.
But they kept hold of him. Newcastle were inches away of getting him. They've got him. They've got Eze.
We got to talk about the 2 big players missing from Forest.
Go on.
You've got Ward-Prowse, who's suspended this game,
Right.
and then you've got Sangare, who's
Yes.
injured.
So 2 midfielders.
And not to mention Gibbs White is also out.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's injured.
So
tough.
wow.
It's tough that.
Forest have had a very positive start as well. So they've picked up a couple of victories, like we were going on about Liverpool away at Anfield. They managed to pick a 1-0 victory up. They did lose, however, to Fulham the week after that, but then got that amazing draw against Chelsea at Stamford
And
Bridge.
what does a win do for them in the table?
Yeah, I think it's 8th.
So a win for Forest, depending on other results, can get them to 6th. But
That's very good.
it can if other teams' scores line up with theirs.
I just want to mention Palace.
Yeah.
2 wins this season, both in the Carabao Cup. 4-0 to Norwich, 2-1 to QPR.
Have they not won in the league?
They
No
are
wins in the
winless
league.
in the Premier League.
3
so
draws,
far.
which were against Leicester. You know that one.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Man United, which is 0-0. It's not
it's-
looking good for the players they have.
Who's Palace's manager at the moment?
Oliver Glasner.
Yeah.
For the players they have, they should not be struggling as much as they are.
No,
It's a
not at all.
huge clash this weekend. It's Monday night, isn't it?
Monday
So,
night football.
Monday
Yeah.
night.
Forest you hope will be the favourites because they have had such a good start. Like I said, it's at home as well. Yes, they're missing some massive players, but they've still got some decent players in there. Obviously, Chris Wood has been on lightning form this season, so he'll obviously probably play a huge role in that. But Palace, they need something to turn their season around.
We spoke about the transfer earlier, but Anderson to Fulham. Obviously, we were all surprised.
It's a huge
Has
one.
that now cost them
Potentially,
this?
yeah.
I think so.
Because they've got what, Trevor Chalobah?
Yeah,
They do,
he
yes.
came in on loan.
I think-
he came in on loan. He looked all right against Liverpool.
Yeah, and he
But
was.
that's
I
not
believe he was injured as well, but he's now.
that's not
Is
an
he
equal
fit?
trade.
He's fit now. Yeah,
He
He's
is
fit,
fit.
yeah. That's not an equal trade
No.
for them.
And also the partnership that Anderson and Guehi had last year
was
incredible,
solid, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good.
But
So
like I said, they've got the players in there. They kept hold of Guehi. They've got Eze, but
got
they also got
Henderson.
Adam Wharton, Henderson in goal.
and
They've got
Nketiah came in. I think
Eddie
he's
Nketiah.
an all right little signing for them.
Yeah.
And you got to talk about Elise obviously leaving them as well.
That was huge.
That was
it
was a massive transfer at the start of this season.
50 million to buy him, wasn't it? I think that was.
And he's had a cracking start to the season
he
as
has,
well.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
And
start.
He'll
imagine
be
if
a
he was
big
doing
miss.
that at Palace.
Yeah.
But I think they bought in Ismail Assar, didn't they?
Ismail Assar, he's
Marseille.
looked good when he plays,
Yeah.
but he doesn't play often.
No.
He's bench player.
Yeah, he comes on.
Without a doubt, Palace they need a result, don't they? This weekend.
100%.
They are in the relegation zone, and if results don't go their way, they could be a few points off safety as well. So
It doesn't look that promising. at the
no, it
moment.
doesn't, does it at all? So
No.
it'll be a big one. I mean, I am going Forest as favourites. I think it will be a 2. Maybe I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Forest. In fact,
Wow.
I think Forest will will clean sweep.
Harry?
Palace
I
again.
go 2-0.
2-0 Forest?
Yeah.
I think 2-1 Palace.
Yeah.
Palace?
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Hold
I
on
was
a
not
minute.
expecting that.
No, I
At
think
the City Ground.
at the City Ground, yeah.
Right, you got to explain yourself now.
I don't think there's much for me to explain. It's quite simple. If you look taking the knowledge with the Wolves win, Wolves need a win.
Yeah.
Southampton need a win, obviously. They won't get it. But Wolves need a win. They'll win against City.
You can't just take that.
But no. But I think Palace, there's a team in there that if they don't beat Forest, that's it. It's looking ropey. Yes, Forest have had a brilliant start to the season. Chris Wood has had a really good start to the season. Very good start to the season. We've said it countless times. But there's a team in Crystal Palace there. There's players there that are difference makers, and I think I read somewhere that Glasner's now trying to make Palace play with 2 strikers up front in Mathieson and Nketiah. Imagine them behind him, Eze, Wharton, Sarr could probably play on the other wing. You play 4 up front. You play 2 or 3 holding midfield. Munoz might be out, which is a tough one, but I think this is Palace's win. I think this is their win. This is their first win of the season. Will be against Forest.
Fair
I think
enough.
that's
Fair enough.
I mean, it's a good call, isn't it?
It's a rogue shout.
It's
but
a rogue
if it
shout,
works, it
but
works.
let's see. I'm not putting any money on it, so nothing to lose.
Fair.
No, well, that's the week of the games to come ahead. Obviously, in a week's time we'll do a reaction to these games.
Obviously.
We'll note down these predictions and react to the games, but also look ahead to the week after, to match week 9.
I can't wait for a 6-0 City.
But you want Wolves to win.
I know, but I can't wait to come in on Monday and just get roasted for saying, Wolves will win.
Well,
I said it as well, to be fair, so you're not going to be anyone.
Yeah, we'll have to see, won't we? I mean, obviously it's a massive week ahead with the games coming up, and it's going to be a big season. It's going to be an exciting one, hopefully, as well. So this has been the first podcast of the series. I don't even know what we call it. Episode 1. Episode 1 of Beyond the Scoreline podcast. We hope you all enjoyed it. Hope there'll be more to come. I'm sure there will be.
I'm sure
if the boys stay around.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe even next week we'll have a special guest. We'll have to see. But stay tuned. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you all later. Goodbye.